Before we start, during the talk, the sharing, instead of listening to the bell of mindfulness inviting by Sister Đăng Nghiêm in the bell mode, like Sister Gina, Sister Diệu Nghiêm has shared with us, instead listening to the bell, we are going to listen to the wonderful violin I have arrived, I'm home, played by Sister Chai Nghiêm. And in the violin mode. Okay? Namo Saskya Muni Buddhaya. Dear respected patriarchs, matriarchs, dear spiritual ancestor of many generations, dear respected Thai and the beloved community. Today is the 17th of June 2018. We are in the New Hamlet, Plum village in the 21-day retreat. And this is a continuation of what we are doing, have been doing. Today we are going to talk about the Sutra Udana given by the Buddha. And the English translation for it is the Inspired Sayings of the Buddha, Chapter 8, Section 3. And this is a famous description of Nirvana. Do we have that sutra with us? Udana in the booklet. And this talk will be continued by Sư cô Trân Đức. So she will cover what have not been covered. It's wonderful, isn't it? In the Sutra Udana, the Buddha has shared, has taught, there exist monks that which is unborn, that which is unbecome, that which is uncreated, that which is unconditioned. For if there were not monks, that which is unborn, that which is unbecome, that which is uncreated, that which is unconditioned, there would not be made known here the escape from which is born, from that which is become, that which is created, from that which is conditioned. Here the Buddha is speaking about the ultimate. I have arrived, I'm home. In the ultimate I dwell. And the ultimate is here and now. Embracing 3 times and embracing space. And also talking about space without space. So here and now is not a location limited by time and space. The present moment is made of mindfulness, concentration and insight that embrace the 3 times and space. So we are free. And that is possible thanks to right view, thanks to the insight of interdependent co-arising. And we have also learned about the Zorro. We remember the relative dimension is connected with the ultimate dimension thanks to the wisdom of adaptation, thanks to the insight of interdependent co-arising. This is because that is. We are because all that is. So the relative and the ultimate dimension become one. And in the Udana Sutra, the Buddha is speaking about that. The nature of interbeing between the relative and the ultimate dimension. And the ultimate dimension is the escape, is a refuge, is a home for the relative dimension. So no birth, no death as the ultimate dimension is the refuge for birth and death. So there is no conflict between no birth, no death, and birth and death. Thanks to the insight of interdependent co-arising. So far, is it okay? This is just a summarize to make sure we are grounded. Yeah, it's a wonderful example of practitioners. And the same, the Buddha has taught about unbecome as home, as a refuge for becoming, for being and non-being. Yeah? Today we are going to deepen that insight through experiences and through an experiment with the violin. Yeah? But before to go further, I would like to read Thai's poem to express Thai's understanding about samsara. Yeah, samsara in the common understanding is the suffering of the world of birth and death. And people would like to overcome samsara, to overcome the world of birth and death by reaching nirvana. But there is a misunderstanding that we need to abandon the world of birth and death, the world of suffering, the world of samsara, to get rid of in order to get nirvana somewhere else in the future. And that is a misunderstanding in the practice. And according to the Buddha, the relative dimension, the dimension of birth and death, and the dimension of no birth and no death, nirvana, they interact. They cannot be separate. Like Thai used the image, the wave has birth and death, but also the wave has the nature of no birth, no death, as ocean, as water. So that misunderstanding we would like to take out. Yeah. The fly is landing in the soup, struggling and died. We would like to take him out compassionately. But in the past, I make a mistake. It happened to me. I just enjoy the fly. Because I didn't know what to do. With birth and death of the fly, I felt so compassionate for him. And I didn't have the insight of no birth, no death of the fly. I said to myself, now you become me. That is also an insight of interbeing. And I will practice for you. And we will reach nirvana somewhere, liberation somewhere. That was a very compassionate motivation of a young novice by then, more than 20 years ago. And one day they knew about that and they said, look at me and said, that is not so hygienic. Very compassionate, knowing my motivation, and yet very clear, that is not so hygienic. Thank you, Thai. Thai has written a poem about stopping samsara. And I hope you have the translation in French and in Vietnamese. I would like to read it also in Vietnamese. Stopping the wheel. The wheel here is samsara. Who is going through samsara? If we are to stop samsara, whose samsara is to be stopped? Afflictions and pains are going through samsara, and we are to stop them from continuing the circle. But who is the one who shoulders these afflictions and pain? Afflictions do not need someone to shoulder them. They go through samsara by themselves. What will happen after samsara is stopped? Samsara will happen again. Why bother to stop it? When samsara wheel of ill-being stops, the samsara wheel of well-being begins to turn. The stopping of ill-being starts the beginning of well-being. But well-being is still samsara. Well-being needs to go through samsara because we always need it in each moment of our life. Why should you want the smile of a little boy to be absent? Why should we ban the breeze of spring? Ending samsara is transforming suffering. And suffering is the substance which makes up happiness. Don't worry too much, my friend. Even suffering is needed in this world. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's up and up, open up a lot of freedom. Now the Vietnamese. Chấm dứt luân hồi. Ai luân hồi? Và chấm dứt luân hồi của ai? Những niềm đau nỗi khổ đang đi luân hồi. Chúng ta hãy chấm dứt những niềm đau nỗi khổ. Nhưng ai là kẻ mang trên vai những niềm đau nỗi khổ ấy? Những niềm đau nỗi khổ ấy không cần ai mang trên vai. Từ chúng đi quanh, từ chúng luân hồi. Chấm dứt luân hồi, cái gì sẽ xảy ra? Chấm dứt luân hồi sẽ xảy ra. Vậy thì chấm dứt làm gì? Nếu khổ đau hết luân hồi, thì hạnh phúc sẽ lên đường đi luân hồi. Và khi chấm dứt luân hồi, thì khổ đau sẽ trở nên hạnh phúc. Nhưng hạnh phúc vẫn còn trong vòng luân hồi. Hạnh phúc cần luân hồi và cần luân hồi mãi mãi. Vì chúng ta luôn luôn cần sự có mặt của nó trong mỗi phút giây của cuộc đời. Tại sao anh muốn chấm dứt luân hồi khi kẻ đi luân hồi là hạnh phúc? Tại sao anh muốn nụ cười vắng mặt? Tại sao anh muốn đầy ải gió mùa xuân? Chấm dứt luân hồi chỉ là chuyển hóa khổ đau, và khổ đau là chất liệu làm ra hạnh phúc. Vì vậy, anh cũng không cần quá lo lắng rằng có những khổ đau trong cuộc đời. There is also a misunderstanding about no birth and no death. The inside of no birth, no death. The misunderstanding is to think that when we touch Nirvana, no birth, no death, then there is no longer, then we are no longer going in samsara. there is no longer samsara. Because we are strongly influenced by the idea, the notion that samsara is suffering. So there is a discrimination between suffering as samsara and nirvana as happiness. There is that discrimination, and that is a misunderstanding. So to reach nirvana, no birth and no death, happiness, well-being, is in order to take care for birth and death. To give birth and death a home, like the Buddha has said in the Udana Sutra, to support birth and death, rather than get rid of birth and death. So nirvana is there to support samsara, and that is the correct teaching of the Buddha. So that is another fly we would like to compassionately put on Mother Earth for his continuation, because he's already in nirvana, in peace. And there is also a big misunderstanding about the Buddha teaching, and that is nirvana is the internal death. The internal death. Like there is a notion we are going in samsara, in circle, and we would like to get out of the circle by reaching nirvana, and we are no longer going in circle, the end of samsara, internal death. Eternal death. Cảm ơn sư chị. Not internal. English lesson. Cảm ơn sư chị. Thank you. Eternal death. The end. Free. And in a sense of nothingness. I would like to try again. Nihilism. Annihilism. Thank you. Annihilism. Yeah. And that is a big, big misunderstanding. Not only in Western researchers, but also in some practitioners. Việc đáng làm đã làm. There is a sentence in the Sutra says, birth is destroyed. The holy life has been lived. What had to be done has been done. There is no more coming to any state of being. Can you see it? No more in circle. Reaching nirvana, and that is the end. That is a big mistake. And the Buddha said, no, reaching nirvana, peace, is to embrace birth and death, suffering. Again, 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 and again, and again. Because we cannot separate ocean, water from the waves. Let's enjoy breathing with the violin as one Sangha body. I have arrived, I'm home. Wow, it's so wonderful, isn't it? The other day, Thầy Phap Ung has mentioned about different bodies the Buddha has speaking about, and Thầy has given to us in the 21-day retreat what happened when we died. So there are 8 of them. Please name them. Human body, and the body they inter-are. It's wonderful, isn't it? Human body, and then Buddha body. Oh, I have Buddha body. And then Dharma body. That is a spiritual practice body. And then Sangha body. You see, they inter-are. Yeah? And then continuation body. And then cosmic body. Wow. That is a very big one. We have cosmic body. The stars are us. It's amazing, huh? Not there, here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more. Come on. Body outside the body. Oh, yes. Like our internet. Using it in a meaningful, compassionate, insightful way. And then, yeah? Body in the body, yes. We have body outside the body, and we have body inside the body. Let's see. I think the body outside the body is already body inside the body. Because we have transcended the boundary of inside and outside. So they interact. Inside and outside interact. The last one is very, very wonderful. And we just have learned it from the Sutra, Udana. Huh? Yeah? One more time. Cosmic true nature. We have cosmic body and we have true nature body. And our true nature body is no birth and no death. Thank you. Or we can say the ultimate. Or we can say Nirvana. Oh my goodness. Or we can say absolute, yes. I would like to hear you another word. Sorry. From your tradition. God, yeah. Can we, absolute is like ultimate, yeah? Can we see that? So we put here God. God body. Wow. That is good news. Because we have God body. I was shocked when I heard Thai say, shared it in a question and answer concerning God. And I said, I am God. It was like, Thai, like, oh my goodness. How do you feel when you hear you are God? You are God. And Thai said, yes, we are God. And I heard it several times. And I got familiar with it. Okay, Thai, we try. And that means we try to develop the inside of unborn, undying. And that is doable. Like Sister Tuệ Nghiêm has said, when we take a bath, we contemplate this body, a bath, a shower, we contemplate this body. And Thầy Pháp Lai has said it in the song written by Thầy Pháp Linh, unborn, indestructible, beyond space and time. Transmission and receiving inter-are. And the nature of the ultimate dimension is wondrous. And that nature, that true nature body, God is in this body. So this is an invitation to look at our body in that spirit. So the Creator interis with the creatures. Is correct? Creatures? Yeah. I have made a mistake by thinking, by having thought that in my body, yes, there is presence of my ancestors and life and so on. It's true. But I have thought and I have mistaken thought that underneath this body, between the transmission, the ancestors, and me, the receiver, there is a substance. A substance, everlasting, permanent, that link transmission and receiving. And that mistake I have seen thanks to the insight of interbeing between different bodies. So our true nature, God, is flowing together with all bodies, with all manifestations of life. And they inter-are, they interacting. The true nature body is not a separate self-entity. God is not a separate self-entity. And by seeing that, in the light of interbeing of many bodies, then we can live in harmony with many forms of traditions without holding on, grasping on a separate self-entity as true body, as God. That give a lot of freedom, inclusiveness, and peace. There is no need for fighting. My God. Yeah. And Thầy also would like to, before going on, thanks to the insight of unborn, undying, our true nature, God, then we can heal all the bodies. Yeah? We can heal all the body, even healing the suffering of birth and death. I wonder is whether Ron Lenzo is here. Please come up. Ron Lenzo is an OI member, Vietnam veteran, practicing in Plum village with Thai and Sangha for many years. And in 1997, Ron and his followers attending veteran retreat in Omega. In a big, his group was about 40, 50 members in a big Sangha of 800 retreatants. Please come up. And after more than 20 years, we meet each other here again. 97, huh? And now 2018. 21 years old ago. And the past is here in the present. And in that retreat, veteran retreat, small group within the big Sangha, we did many things with support of Sister Chân Khong, John Halifax, Thầy Phap Ung, and many friends. And we did reconciliation, I remember. And I remember we kneel down and hug each other. You cried for your people, for the Vietnamese people, for all. And I cried for your people and Vietnamese people. And the crying was very healing. Is it beautiful, isn't it? Your heart is beating. And after that session of reconciliation, we did walking meditation. Yeah. I remember we walked together with our group to the lake, and we held hands. Yeah, and I felt, wow, you are doing your best to be there, to heal, and to go on. And the wound within, the war is still going on, like when we have the ventilator, how say it? The fan going on, and we stop the fan, but the fan still go on a little bit. And I felt that I felt, oh, you are breathing and embracing the collective wound of humanity. And I squeezed your hand, and each step we walked together with the group, touching the here and now, peace. And when we reached, I remember I stopped and picked a flower and offered to you. And you were surprised with pleasure. And then we stopped at the lake, where we saw many monastic brothers and sisters playing. And you remember I came and splashed water on you? It was a cold bath. Yeah. And a few years later, we were asked, I think in 2002, to write an article about Vietnam veteran. And you sent me an email, and I received the email on a piece of paper in Vermont Monastery, Maple Forest Monastery. And this you don't know yet. I haven't shared to you yet. You know what happened? I read the piece of paper, and suddenly it became yellow-red flame in my eyes. And at the same time, the young Vietnamese man, woman died in the war. They manifested. And they yelled at me, "We are not dead, we are not dead." And it was a healing thanks to compassionate awakening, thanks to your practice and the practice of all. So our true nature of unborn, undying manifested to heal the wound of birth and death of the world. So thank you. That is good news. Now you know. Yeah.
I have no words. Being here again continues my journey together with you and all of you. It gives me great courage. And Tait talks of faith as courage to continue to share joy and healing that I've experienced with others, thanks to our great ancestors and our dear teacher and that beautiful, beloved Sangha.
So, happy continuation for all.
Yes.
Nothing is lost.
No.
We can walk for all.
Yes.
Thank you. So let's enjoy the violin again. Thank you. Happy continuation. In 2007, Thai and our international Fourfold Sangha has done the great reconciliation in Vietnam. Đại Trai Đàn in throughout Vietnam, but for all. It's not only for Vietnamese people, for all. And I remember Thai walked and allowed the dead ones to walk with Thai. Allow the families of the dead ones to walk with Thai and the Sangha. And that is possible. And we can breathe now for our beloved ones, alive or dead. Is the meal delicious? Yeah, we continue. We cook together, we enjoy together. So people can enjoy looking at you. There is a human tendency to have something to hold on as a refuge, permanent. Never changing. And we may turn the ultimate into that something permanent, never changing. And we feel, wow, at peace. But we may limit our freedom, our compassion, and our inclusiveness, our happiness by doing that. And that tendency can take in many forms, like Thai Phap Ung has said. Please help me. Self, yeah, selfie, groupie. What else? Making something into idolizing. What else? Deifying. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry for my English. And in Buddhism, there is that tendency also. The teaching on emptiness of a separate self as a meditation, as a way of getting the insight of interbeing, to open ourselves up. That teaching has been turned into a separate self, something as a separate self entity, as the ground for everything. as a separate self-entity. You agree? Thank you. It gives courage to go on. Wonderful to have the Sangha. And Thai has seen that as a fly in the soup, and compassionately taking the fly out and put the fly back in life, free and happy. And Thai used this image as a match, and here we have the sage. The sage, the match, is like the teaching on true emptiness of a separate self-entity, the teaching of interbeing, and that teaching should be able to help us to develop inclusiveness, compassion, peace, freedom. And I remember the sage is there for the flame to enjoy and producing to keep the flame going on, producing fragrance of peace, happiness, freedom, and inclusiveness. And the sage is offering herself completely, doesn't hold back, as a separate self-entity. And that is that is the function of the Buddha teaching. So compassionate. Thank you. You may like to put it on the altar. Okay. Offering to our spiritual ancestors gratitude. And yesterday, the day before yesterday, Sư Chân Đức said, in order not to be caught in emptiness, we say, body is emptiness. Emptiness is body. Human body is God body. God body is human body. You see that? Not caught in a separate self-entity. This is an effort to reach out, to communicate. It's not for competition. It's not for competition of inferior, superiority, or equality. And by dwelling happily in our home, here now, the present moment, Nirvana here now, resting in God, we feel content. We don't have to look to run for, and we can heal. And Thai has offered calligraphy. There is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. So the mean and the aim, they support each other. And Thai continue with, there is no way to peace, Nirvana. Peace, Nirvana is the way. And to continue in that line, there is no way to God. God is the way. That is empowering ourselves. It's giving us freedom and love in inclusiveness way, in an inclusive way, to live in the midst of challenges in this time. And to heal the wounds of separation. And also to build our true home here and now. And to open our true home for all to come and enjoy and heal themselves. We may have our homeland, but yet maybe we don't feel at home in our homeland yet. Or our homeland is in danger, not safe. But within us there is true home, unborn and indestructible. We have a home to come back and take refuge and live peacefully, happily and compassionately. And offer our home, also our collective home for all needed. And Thầy said the Pure Land is here and now, tịnh độ hiện tiền. The kingdom of God is here now. So if we can touch the Pure Land, the kingdom of God here now, then we are assured to dwell in our kingdom of God, our Pure Land in the future. Because the three times they are. And to go on a little bit, the Amita Buddha is characterized by limitless lifetime. And all us does have that nature of unborn, undying, limitless lifetimes, because we don't have a begin as a separate self-entity. So, to continue a little bit, we are also the Buddha Amita. We have that substance within us. And if we can touch that true nature, limitless lifetime, we are with the Buddha Amita. Cửa vô sinh mở rồi, trạm nhiên và bất động. The door of unborn, undying is already open. Trạm nhiên và bất động. Solid and indestructible. And that is the Buddha Amita within us. And of course, all Buddhas, they inter-support each other. Maybe we can play the music again, not to fall into sleep. In Upper Hamlet, there is a family. Father from the Netherlands and mother from Belgium, and two boys. The older one is Tao, the way, and the young one is Namo. And imagine Namo is a cloud of 5 skanda. We remember? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when Tao Namo has manifested, has been born as a cloud, then we can see that Namo was manifesting together with non-Namo elements, right? The sun, the earth, and the people, and so on. That is the moment of manifestation. And the next moment, Namo is interacting, interconditioning with non-Namo elements, with his father, with his mother, with his brother, with his land, his people, with life, with the trees, with the earth, and so on. So Namo is very dynamic, and is already on his way, his continuation body in every moment. So we don't need to wait for Namo to become 100 years old in order to manifest in another form. He is already on his way. And in the poem, Please Call Me By My Three Names, Thai has written that inside, my coming and my going is in every breath. My coming and my going is in every breath. Interacting and already on the way, receiving, enriching. And the next line is, the rhythm of my birth and my death is the sound of countless hearts beating. The rhythm of my birth and my death is the sound of countless hearts beating. Yeah? The moment of Namo's birth Namo is manifesting together with all that is. Intermanifestation. Intermanifestation goes along with the insight of interdependent co-arising. In order not to be caught in manifestation as a separate entity, as a rebirth after 100 years after our death, then we manifest again. We see that? And Namo is intermanifesting in every moment, instantly. In millisecond, satna. And in many forms. Can we imagine that? Yeah? It's amazing. And to go a little bit further, Thai has giving us the 4 Plum village seals, Dharma seals. We have spoken and listened to 3 Dharma seals given by the Buddha, and Thai would like to continue the Buddha with 4 Plum village Dharma seals. The first one is, I have arrived, I am home. Of course. Boom, I have arrived, I'm home. So we just enjoy our true nature of no birth and no death in this body. I have arrived, I'm home. In the ultimate I dwell. Resting in God. The second one, interbeing. Yes. Another word is, come on. Plum village practitioners. I would not ask Sư Cô Trần Đức. Not to flowing as a river, as a Sangha. And our Sangha here, in the manifestation, is not only human. All that is, isn't. Yeah? Flowing as a Sangha, a river, flowing with our cosmic body and all the bodies among the Sangha body. But it's very practical and helpful to flow with the Sangha first, in order not to fly off. Oh, I'm up here. Bye bye human. Nothing to do with human, because human, so much dramas. Sorry, just to respect human, because human is God. So. Sorry to play a little bit with words. The third one. Phổ, Đức Phổ. Give it a try. Interbeing of the 3 times. The 3 times, the past, the present and future, inter and also truth, relative and ultimate truths. Time, truth, inter. And the last one is very important. No coming and no going. Yes, I have arrived at home. Instantly. Cinematographic. Dị thục sát na. It's the Chino-Vietnamese. Dị is mean is changing, is transforming, is not remaining at the same. Thục is maturing in every millisecond. Changing. Remember Nammo? Maturing, maturing. Instantly. Is there another word for that? Yeah. Instantly. Yeah. Instantly. English. Instantly. Thank you for your compassion. So if we see birth and death, our body, in this light of 4 Plum Village Dharma seals, then we open up another dimension. And this is my own interpretation. I am responsible for this one that I'm going to say. Maybe please correct me. Even God body is functioning in this light as well. Then we are free from the notion God is something never changing. And that is good news. It's good news that God body is functioning in this light of the 4 Dharma seals of Plum Village. It's just a continuation of the Buddha, the Patriarchs, and many traditions. And by the way, I would like to add that I see the Buddha is not a separate self-entity, the Sakyamuni Buddha, but he is just a continuation of his spiritual ancestors by his time. He is just an evolution of the tradition. He just continues. He is not up there and landing on the earth and teaching. And by saying that we include, we make peace with the traditions and not to separate ourselves. Would you like to bear one more? Yeah? It's not too sleepy. Yes, to complete the 4 Dharma seals, like the 3 Buddha Dharma seals, the 4 Plum Village Dharma seals, they also they also inter-are. They are not a separate self-entity. And they inter-are with the three Dharma seals as well. Another continuation of the music. We have landed here now. We are at home, so wonderful feeling. Our home is Mother Earth. Yes, a little bit more addition to this for Plum Village Dharma Seal. In Plum Village, Thai and the Sangha has been practicing about the four elements: study, practice, service, and play. These four elements, we try to balance them. And it is up to each of us, the way we are, we try to balance them. Sometimes we need more salt, and a little bit sugar, pepper, chili. Some of us, no chili. It's the same here with the four elements. But it is very helpful to apply the 4 Plum Village Dharma seals into these 4 elements. For example, serving, helping, wonderful. But in the light of Sangha, interbeing, flowing as a river, serving, taking action, wonderful. But in the light, I have arrived, I'm home, solid and free. In order to maintain, in order to go substantially. Just a few examples. So Thai has given a calligraphy. Doing nothing is something. It's wonderful, isn't it? Oh, nothing, lazy. It's wonderful, being lazy. And sometimes doing nothing, not reacting, being compassionate and inclusiveness, just be there, is already healing. We are in the relative dimension, the time is flying. And then we enjoy the present moment as well. At the very beginning of the talk given by Sister Chân Đức, we have learned about one principle, that is the separate investigation. Of the 2 dimensions of the nature, that is the ultimate dimension of true nature, and the phenomenon. The relative dimension. So if we would like to investigate something, then we need to be consistent. If we are talking about the relative truth dimension, then we need to keep consistent using the notions, the word, as a relative truth dimension. You are you. I am I. I am me. You are Đức Hiền, and I am Phap Ung. Don't mix up, okay? We need to be consistent like that. We cannot mix. Okay, Đức Hiền, would you like to offer incense to the altar? Then I go. I cannot do like that. Đức Hiền need to go, and I need to stay. Yeah, we need to be consistent like that. And if we would like to talk about the ultimate truth, dimension, then we also need to be consistent. Talking, thinking in this ultimate way, interbeing way. And we don't mix the two dimensions up. They interact. The two dimensions, the two truths, they interact. But we cannot mix them up when we investigate them. Yeah? It is very crucial to go to the next step. I think it's okay to go on. Yeah? There is a conflict in the thinking in our world about creation. Our world, cosmos, is a creation in the thinking of some people, some tradition. Yeah? And that is okay. That is freedom of thought, remember? And there is also another thinking about our world is evolution. Life is an evolution. Continuity. And the two ways of thinking, they are in conflict. There's debate, argue about it. And how can the insight of interdependent co-arising support this way of thinking? If we say creation, then it's okay. Like we say there is a self, it's okay to say there is a self. But we understand the self is made of non-self elements. The king, it's okay, you are the king. But knowing he is made of the king's element. Yeah? It's okay to say creation. But understanding that creation is not from nothing into something, but in the light of interdependent co-arising, interbeing, interdependent co-arising. Like we have seen, God's body inter-is with all the bodies. Yeah? So creation, with the support of the insight of interdependent co-arising, is open up another dimension. And we see evolution in the same light of interdependent co-arising. The evolution of life on earth is possible thanks to the whole cosmos. Yeah? No begin. The scientist Hawkins has discovered that every manifestation is the center of the cosmos. Every manifestation is the center of the cosmos. So, seeing creation and evolution in the light of interdependent co-arising, then we take out the conflict. We harmonize the two. There is peace, acceptance, no need to fight for. And the same, if we can see Creator, God, unborn, undying, inter-is with all that is, then there is peace. We have made a mistake to mix up God as the ultimate with the relative truth by seeing God as a separate self-entity. We have made a mistake by seeing God as a ground of being, but then separate from everything else. It's okay to say God is the ground of all that is, but in the light of interdependent co-arising. This is effort to reach out, to communicate, and to harmonize. And forgive me if it's not correct, not in the light of the truth. So to conclude, if we say God as the ultimate dimension, ultimate truth, then God is beyond transcending the relative truth, but embrace the relative truth. God is beyond the notion of being. Going along with that is non-being. Embracing the two notions, God is beyond birth and death. God is no birth, no death, and embracing birth and death. Like the Sutra Udana, the Buddha has taught. The ultimate dimension is a home, a refuge, an escape for the relative dimension. But we cannot mix up. We should not mix up the two. Yeah? And I forgot to say that Thai said unborn and undying doesn't mean there is no birth, no death. There is birth and death, and that birth of Namo is at the same time unborn, undying. And reaching, touching unborn and undying doesn't mean we are not born again. Yes, we would like to be to intermanifesting again in the light of interbeing again and again in every second. I see you smiling. It gives hope and courage. $11:30. Oh. Maybe I have a ride. I'm home. Wonderful. In every moment in our daily life, we can sow the seed, nurture the seed of our true home beyond space and time, and here and now, indestructible, in order to offer refuge or home for the conflicts in our world, in order to give our future generation a chance. Just by being at home, and they continue us, we flow together in 10 directions. And once I had said, even if our civilization, due to many causes and conditions, will die, as it happened in the past with many civilizations, then even that we still can water, can nurture our true home, indestructible. Here and now. I would like to read Thai poem as conclusion. The name is The Sunflower. Sunflower. Sunflower, come, dear, with your innocent eyes, and look at the clear blue oceans of Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya is the ultimate dimension, the true nature body. And look at the green color, the manifestation of suchness. Even if the world is shattered, your smile will never vanish. What did we possess yesterday? And what will we lose today? Come, dear, look right into existence, adorned by illusion. Since the sunflower is already there, all flowers turn toward it and contemplate. Here the sunflower is the insight that brings us to the other shore, Prajna Paramita, transcendent understanding, the ultimate dimension, as a refuge, as a home for the relative dimension. I would like to sing it, and then we end it here. Reading it in Vietnamese. Hoa mặt trời, em đến đây bằng đôi mắt hồn nhiên, nhìn màu xanh của pháp thân hiền hiện. Dù thế giới tan tành, nụ cười bông hoa cũng không bao giờ còn tan biển. Chúng ta đã được gì hôm qua và sẽ mất gì sáng nay. Em đến đây theo ngón tay tôi, nhìn thẳng vào thế gian, điểm tô bằng ảo tưởng. Hoa mặt trời mọc rồi, muôn hoa khác đều quay về quy ngưỡng. Ảo tưởng, ảo tưởng. Em đến đây bằng đôi mắt hồn nhiên, nhìn màu xanh của pháp thân hiền hiện. Dù thế giới tan tành, nụ cười bông hoa sẽ không bao giờ còn tan biến. Chúng ta đã được gì hôm qua và sẽ mất gì sáng nay. Em đến đây theo ngón tay tôi, nhìn thẳng vào thế gian, điểm tô bằng ảo tưởng. Hoa mặt trời mọc rồi, muôn hoa khác đều quay về quy ngưỡng. Hoa mặt trời mọc rồi, muôn hoa khác đều quay về quy ngưỡng. Thank you, respected community, for your patience and your support. We enjoy three sounds of the bell.